This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com, and in this week's video I'm going to handicap the 4 stakes races from Aqueduct on Cigar Mile Day, and that'll be Saturday, December 5th, 2020. And we're going to start with the Remsen Stakes. Before I do that, if you're interested in bonus stakes races and bonus free picks, head on over to the RunawayHorse.com. I have bonus free picks on my New York and California pages, and also at HorseRacingNation.com. I give out a daily free pick every day on that website, and I'll provide the links in this video. So look in the description below in this video, and I'll provide the links for those. Also, I've just posted my first Kentucky Oaks 2021 and Kentucky Derby 2021 blogs, and you can read those at therunawayhorse.com on my Kentucky Derby 2021 page. Let's jump into the analysis for this week. It'll be Aqueduct Race 4, the first race I'm going to do, the Grade 2 Remsen. And it's for 2-year-olds, a mile and an eighth on the main track. This is a Kentucky Derby 2021 points race. 10 points for the winner, 4 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth. We have a 5-horse field here. Pickin Time is number 1, and he's probably going to take some money. He won the Nashua Stakes last time out at 9-1. He's 5-2 morning line. He's certainly not going to be 9-1 this time. He'll probably stalk the pace from the inside post. And also, there's a good chance of rain at Aqueduct on Saturday, so we could be looking at a wet track. So keep your eyes open for that when race day comes along and you're handicapping this race and getting ready to wager on it. Number 2, Known Agenda. He's your 8-5 morning line favorite for Todd Pletcher, and he comes off of a victory at this mile and an eighth distance at Aqueduct. The 3, Brooklyn Strong. He's a decent New York bred, coming off a win in the Sleepy Hollow Stakes against state breds. He's stretching out in distance from a mile to a mile and an eighth, and his speed figures are on the rise. Number 4, Erawan, is in from Maryland. He's a late runner. In his first 2 races at Laurel, he showed some decent late interest. There's not a lot of pace in this race, and if he catches a wet track, he could be far back. He's going to have to make a good late run. Finally, number 5, 10 for 10. He's 2-1. He's your second choice, and he's probably the one to catch in here. He was second in the Nashua Stakes, more than 10 lengths clear of the show finisher. As I said, Pickin Time won that one. And his start prior to that at Belmont Park in the slop, he went wire to wire, winning by 8 lengths. And if he catches a wet track and he gets an easy lead, he could be tough to catch. There's many different ways you can go here. Pickin Time, obviously a contender. Brooklyn Strong, the New York breds, not out of this. 10 for 10, could wire the field. But I am going to go with number 2, Known Agenda. I liked that effort last time at Aqueduct at this mile and an eighth distance. And also highly motivated. He finished 2nd in his debut, and he was a clear second that day. Highly motivated, came back and won the Nyquist Stakes with a strong speed figure at Keeneland. And then Known Agenda came out of that race, and he broke his maiden last time. And then the top 2 finishers were well clear of the rest in that mile and an eighth Aqueduct race. So number 2, Known Agenda, is going to be my top choice in the Remsen Stakes at Aqueduct on Saturday, December 5th. Let's jump to the 6th race, the Grade 3 Go for Wand. 1 mile on the main track. Number 1, Nonna Madeline, is your 4-5 morning line favorite, and she's probably the class of the field. She's been facing the better horses. She's cutting back from a mile and an eighth to a 1-turn mile. I don't think the distance is really going to hurt her. She's going to stalk the pace from the inside post most likely. She's not going to offer a lot of value. The kind of race that she's going to run, if you go back to June 27th of this year, a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream Park, the Added Elegant Stakes, she had post 1 that day, and she stalked the pace from the inside, and she finished a decent second. So that's the kind of trip she's probably going to sit in here. The 2, Portal Creek, is probably the one to catch, shipping in from Parks. If we get a speed favoring a wet track, Portal Creek could hang in there a long way under Kendrick Carmouche. But I'm going to go for my top selection. I'm going to go with number 3, Sharp Starr. And this one certainly is sharp. And this one's 3-2, your second choice. And this 3-year-old filly, in her toughest spot yet, she's a New York bred filly, but she's certainly improving. And that last race was outstanding. 1 mile at Aqueduct. So right at this distance, over the track, against New York bred company last time out, she stalked the pace, and she earned better pace ratings that day. Stalked, got involved earlier, and just pulled clear to win by 15 lengths. And we see this a lot where these horses will win big and then they just can't duplicate that. But I think that there's a good chance that she could duplicate that effort because she should sit a good trip in here. Jose Ortiz is going to ride. He didn't ride her last time, but he has ridden her multiple times, and she ran well each time Jose Ortiz was aboard, including a victory at the 1-turn mile at Belmont Park. That was in July. So she's 2 for 2 in 1-turn mile races. So this is her distance, and she won both of those races easily. I think she's going to stalk the pace, and maybe if Nonna Madeline gets bogged down on the inside, Sharp Starr can get that first run and possibly end up winning this race. But she's not going to offer a ton of value, but Sharp Starr is going to be my top choice in the Go for Wine Stakes. So we're going to jump now to race 9, and that's the Grade 2 Demoiselle. This is for 2-year-old fillies, and they're going to be traveling 1 mile in an 1/8 on the main track. And in this race, this is a Kentucky Oaks 2021 points race. And just like the Derby for the Remsen, 10 points for the winner, 4 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth. Traveling 1 mile in an 1/8, we'll have to see how far some of these fillies want to go. But your 4 to 5 morning line favorite, number 1, Malathaat, probably the one to catch. 2 for 2. Won the debut at 7 furlongs. Not easy to debut and win at 7 furlongs, but she did that for trainer Todd Pletcher. And then second time out, she battled on the pace. The 1 mile tempted, put away all the others, and won by almost 8 lengths. So Malathaat from the inside post, Curlin the sire, AP Indy the dam sire, Dreaming of Julia, stakes winner was the dam. So outstanding pedigree here. It's got the speed and the rail. And she could hang in there a long way. And they paid a lot for her. They paid over $1 million for this one in the 2019 Keeneland sales. So she's certainly the one to catch in here. Her stablemate number 2, Traffic Lane with Kendrick Caramocha aboard. This one seems a bit overmatched, switching back to the main track. The 4 Malibu Curl looked good second time out, breaking the maiden. The $5 Mountain, this one probably will be up on the pace, but she won in the slop last time, so we know she likes a wet track if that happens here. Cafe Society's a little bit interesting for Shug McGahee. Empire Maker the sire, Tappet the dam sire. So an outstanding pedigree, showed good speed in the debut to win, and then second time out was no threat, finishing third in the tempted, but she's probably better than that. So those are the horses that I think are the main contenders, except my top choice, and that's number 3, Millefeuille. This one is 7 to 2 morning line. Now she stalked the pace and finished second, a clear second in her debut at Belmont Park. And then I liked that effort last time out in her second career start. That was a nice effort, again at 1 mile. And this time she was much more professional. She won pretty easily second time out in that race. She stalked the pace from the inside post, and she won by 4 lengths under Joel Rosario. He rode her both times. He's back aboard today. This one's another daughter of Curlin. Curlin the sire, Warfront, the dam sire. So this one with a nice pedigree, good tactical speed. It's going to offer more value than Malathaat, your favorite. So number 3, Millefeuille is going to be my top choice in the Demoiselle. And then finally, we're going to get to the big race of the day, the Grade 1 Cigar Mile, and that's the 10th race at Aqueduct. And they're going to be going 1 mile on the main track. This race seems fairly wide open, at least for minor awards. Once you get past the favorite in here, and I think the favorite is pretty solid, the 1 Performer, 7 to 5 morning line, finished third in the career debut, hasn't lost since then, won all 5 starts, hasn't been able to stay healthy, won the Discovery last year as a 3-year-old, earned a good speed figure that day, and then did not resurface until October of this year in the mud at Belmont Park, an optional claiming race. Prepping for this, stalked the pace and won easily by a bit more than 2 lengths. Could have won by more if they wanted to. So Joel Rosario is going to ride back for trainer Shug McGahee. He's going to save ground, stalking the pace, obvious threat. Mind Control. I've always liked Mind Control, number 2. He loves Aqueduct, 5 starts with 4 wins and a second. Does not like a wet track. His 2 really poor races this year were over wet tracks, and so if it is wet, maybe they'll even scratch, because he certainly doesn't like a wet track, and he's not in good form anyway. He was on a fast track. He was up the track last time out. Number 3, Snapper Sinclair. I think you can definitely use this one. He's 20 to 1 morning line. Won a couple races this year, and he's actually hasn't won at all this year, but he's won a couple races at this distance, and he's won once on a wet track. So I think you can use him underneath. Firenze Fire's another one that doesn't like a wet track, and Kelly Breen said he may scratch if the track comes up wet. He's 5 to 2. Mr. Buff, New York bred, probably the one to catch, but he doesn't do well against open company. King Guillermo, number 6, he's 9 to 2 morning line. He's a bit interesting. He's missed a bunch of races this year. They wanted to run him in the Kentucky Derby. He had some problems. He's only run a couple times this year, but he ran well both times in the Tampa Bay and Arkansas Derbies. And he's one that should be stalking the pace. and he's a little bit interesting at a little bit of a price. Majestic Dunhill at 20 to 1. He does handle a wet track. But his fall high weight last time out on November 29th wasn't a good effort. The 8 True Timber likes to hit the board, doesn't win very often. He was 3rd in this race last year, and at 15 to 1, you can definitely use him underneath. And then the 9 Raison rounds out the field. He's won 3 times at Aqueduct. He's won at this distance, but I think he's a bit outclassed. He was in the Breeders' Cup Sprint last time out. He finished 10th. Firenze Fire was 3rd there. I don't think that was the strongest renewal of the Breeders' Cup Sprint. So in this race, for sure, Performer, number 1, is going to be my top pick. He just looks like the one to beat. If you're trying to beat him, maybe King Guillermo can beat him, but that's a 3-year-old facing older. He may need the race. Performer got that race, so that was the key. Performer got a prep race on October 17th. King Guillermo hasn't run in many months since the Arkansas Derby. So Performer number 1 is going to be my top choice in the Cigar Mile. So now if you're interested in my complete analysis of this race with wagering strategies, I'm going to provide that as soon as I post that article at horseracingnation.com, where I'm going to write an article about the Cigar Mile with analysis of every horse plus wagering strategies. And again, I'll provide that in the link provided below. So just click on that link if you're interested, and I'll post that as soon as I get that article posted. So that will wrap up this week's video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, make some comments in the comments section. You know the drill on all that. And I'll be back next week with more stakes races from around the country. Until then, good luck at the races.